Our student invocation will now be read by Ms. Kim Taylor, Senior.
Bow heads, please. Dear Lord, we ask you to keep watch over us as we go our separate ways. Although we are apart, we have you to bind us together. We thank you for giving us such great teachers, parents, and friends who have pointed us in the right direction. Also, we know that only with your help can we make it to the light at the end of the tunnel. Amen.
Welcome to Porter Northern High School's 32nd Annual Commencement Address. Special guests on stage tonight are Mrs. Cheryl Voitas and Ms. Kimberly Story, co-sponsors of the class of 1997, Mr. Jeffrey Beckett and Mr. James Sheeran, Porter Area School District Board members, the Honorable James Adair, Circuit Court Judge, and Mr. Larry J. Moeller, Senior, Superintendent of the Porter Area School District. And also on stage is our good friend, our interpreter, Mr. Henry Lowe, staff member at Porter Northern High School. Nobody in this auditorium will be working harder this evening than Mr. Henry Lowe. To you, the parents, relatives, and friends of the class of 1997, thank you for your devotion, encouragement, support, and most of all, your love for the members of the class of 1997. To you, the staff members, thank you for your dedication and determination in working with the individual students and providing them with a sound and worthwhile education. A special thank you to Mr. Richard Chapman, Assistant Principal, Ms. Arlene Kleba, Ms. Patty Weimer, and scores of others for all their efforts in putting together all of the graduation activities for the class of 1997. And most important, you, the class of 1997, we're all very proud of your academic, co-curricular, and social accomplishments. Your consideration of others has been exemplified by your continuous volunteering in our community. Your success did not come by accident. Hard work, determination, attitude, and a willingness to sacrifice are part of your success. Northern High School is a better place to learn because of your efforts and successes. Congratulations again. We are very proud of you. I present you, Porter Northern's class of 1997. We'll begin tonight's ceremony, the class song, Wish You Were Here, vocalist Catherine Erickson, guitar Jason Ryan, and signing by Rebecca Lane.
wish you were here, yeah.
It's a hard act to follow. It's my pleasure to introduce Mr. Larry J. Moeller, Sr., Superintendent of the Portland Area School District, who will introduce our speaker for this evening. Mr. Moeller?
Thank you, Mr. Goldsworthy. It's indeed a privilege and a pleasure to be here with you this evening and to introduce your speaker. But before I do, I'd like to extend on behalf of the Board of Education and myself, congratulations, best wishes, and Godspeed to each of the graduates. And to the parents, I want to say thanks for your support, your guidance, and your encouragement. And finally, I want to say to the community as a total, thank you for your support on the school bond issue this past Monday. Our speaker this evening is the Honorable James P. Adair. Judge Adair is a familiar name in the Blue Water area. Judge Adair has been very involved in the community both personally and professionally. He has done volunteer work for several organizations, such as the Catholic Social Services, the Port Huron Little League Baseball, as well as being a founding member of the Board of Directors of Big Brothers and Big Sisters of St. Clair County. Judge Adair has also served as president of several local agencies, including, but not all inclusive, the Greater Port Huron Marysville Chamber of Commerce, Blue Water Mental Health Clinic, Blue Water Council of the Boy Scouts, the Port Huron Area School District, PTA Council, the Noon Optimist Club, the St. Clair County Bar Association, as well as the St. Clair County Community College Alumni Association. Judge Adair graduated from the Port Huron Junior College and Wayne State University. He received his Juris Doctorate in 1969 and was admitted to the law practice in the state of Michigan the same year. Judge Adair has been married for 37 years with his wife, Joanne, and has raised 5 children. They are also the extremely proud grandparents of 2 granddaughters. Judge Adair was a former assistant St. Clair County prosecuting attorney and was a senior partner in the law firm of Davison, Steger, Adair, and Hill for 23 years before being elected to the bench in 1995. Please give a warm welcome to Circuit Judge James P. Adair.
Wow, what a way to end a great day, a beautiful day here in Port Huron and St. Clair County, Michigan. I can't imagine a better way than to be here at the commencement ceremonies for the graduation of the 1997 Port Huron Northern High School Huskies. I'm really honored to be here. I genuinely mean I'm honored to be here. Mr. Moeller, I thank you very much for your kind introduction. I have had the honor, ladies and gentlemen, to be at this lectern another time when I spoke with a class of graduating St. Clair County Community College students, and Charlie May's mom was one of those graduates, I believe. Is that right, Charlie? I want to congratulate all of you upon your successful graduation from Port Huron Northern High School. Our 5 children are Husky graduates. I also extend congratulations to your parents, your families, and your friends, and I want you to know that I'm proud of you too, because I consider each of you to be very important to me and to my community and to my country. I have the honor to speak with you, and the topic, our topic tonight is young people. And the title of this topic, or this address, is Who's Looking After Our Kids? Looking after the welfare of our children, I believe, is the key to our country's success. A very delicate fabric holds our country together, and we have the duty to honor the rights that we Americans enjoy. But let me tell you, any judge will tell you that it is urgently more important that we recognize our obligations to each other, and more particularly, our obligations to our children. I don't know how many of you were like me when I graduated from high school without direction, without the wherewithal. I did, however, have a loving family who let me know that I was a worthy person. My family taught me independence that was complementary to my sense of what Thoreau called self-reliance, an introspective feeling that I'm not a bad guy, fairly likable, somewhat ambitious and honest. My family taught me independence, and I was lucky. A great deal of the difficulties that we Americans face and is the result of the failure of the individual, the inability to gain the freedom of the independent, to be independent, the inability to be able to make good decisions. A great deal of the people that I see in my courtroom come there because of a lack of self-esteem, self-respect, a lack of confidence, a lack of dignity. If one has not been able to attain a self-respect, I submit to you that it's extremely difficult, if not impossible, for that individual to have a good regard for another. I grew up on a farm. I wasn't sure that I was sure that I didn't want to be a farmer. I looked like I wasn't going to make a living playing baseball. I wasn't a bad fielder, but I was really a terrible hitter. I was, though, the best typist in high school. And at age 19, I got a job as a secretary in a law office. I got lucky when the lawyer took a chance on me to work for him. That lawyer's name is Wilbur S. Davidson. His health isn't really great right now, and his granddaughter, Emily, is one of the graduates here tonight. I really do wish that each of you could have had the opportunity to associate with Wilbur S. Davidson, a really great guy and a brilliant man. Anyway, a couple of years after that, I got especially lucky when my wife and I were married. She proceeded to get me through undergraduate schools and then Wayne Law School, and all the while she worked full-time as a telephone operator. I kept a part-time job, and we raised 4 kids. It took us about 12 years, but we both worked hard, learned a lot, and we boosted each other's self-confidence. Along the way, I think that we passed on to our kids some of the best experiences that parents can give their children, a sense of independence. The lesson here is that my family's faith in me, Wilbur Davidson's faith in me, my own commitment to hard work and a stubborn reluctance to admit defeat let me go from a 19-year-old secretary to a lawyer, to an assistant prosecuting attorney, to a senior partner in the law firm where I started as a secretary and now as a circuit judge. Generally speaking, Americans do a real bad job of nurturing, training, and preparing its children for social responsibility. I lament so many times the little or bad or just plain no example that our children receive. There are parents who look the other way or even buy the kegs of beer for high school graduation parties. Those parents excuse that conduct with the incredible justification that they would rather have the kids drinking under some controlled circumstance instead of out in the woods or fields unsupervised. It's very perplexing and bewildering to understand why a judge is left to explain to their child that no one has the right to break the law, any law. The examples that we show our children are really terribly harmful. They tend to ruin character and they have great potential for disaster. We've raised generations of kids on garbage like The Terminator and Friday the 13th and the Jerry Springer Show and whatever other trash that seems to tell our children that using guns, knives, and drugs or using bad or shocking language or indiscriminate sex or alcohol abuse is normal behavior. My lunch buddy, age 10, drew me a picture on the computer with action characters holding assault rifles, and he titled it, "Let's Fight." We show violence to our kids every day. Why do we wonder why our children copy our adult behavior? They're taking violence for granted. We don't seem to be doing anything about it. Violence, guns, murders, drugs, criminal sexual conduct, assaults, all of these are engraved on a larger and larger portion of our society. It's becoming a part of living. I see examples of that every day. A couple of weeks ago, Billy and I were weaving our way out of the school cafeteria with our lunch trays. A young boy approached me and he said, "Hi, Judge Adair." He was about Billy's age, about age 11, but I didn't know him. He told me that he was in my courtroom the other day while he watched me sentence his cousin to prison. His cousin was 17 years old. The picture that I had in my mind when he told me this was He saw his cousin come into the courtroom in handcuffs and leave in handcuffs and go on his way to an adult prison. Not only has this 11-year-old kid had the first-hand experience of real life, something that most people see as apparent fiction on television, but his matter-of-fact attitude really affected me. I don't mean that he was really matter-of-fact, treating it matter-of-factly, but I mean that apparently for this young guy, this was definitely his real world. I have presided over at least 20 felony criminal trials in the last 2 years, probably more than that, but I didn't look that figure up. 3 of those trials were murder trials. It's hard to believe that our community is involved in murders. That's for television, after all, isn't it? At least 4 of those trials were gang-related. One kid was convicted of murder. He was 17 years old. Another gang trial involved the attempted shooting of police officers by a young man who came to Port Huron from Detroit to avenge the killing of a member of his gang. Now, please don't think that this happens to people and families that are remote from us and could never happen to us. Let me assure you that more than once I have sentenced young children to prison for crimes they have committed, whose parents that I'm acquainted with and who never in this world would have believed that their child could do such a thing. More and more people are having less and less regard for the welfare of others. The worst of it is that parents do not place their children in a very high regard. I witness on a daily basis the way that children of divorce are treated by their parents. I regularly have a parent attempt to have their children testify against the other parent. I have strong suspicions that they even want their children to lie about the other parent. Can you imagine that a child is encouraged by his parent to lie about anything, let alone about his parent? And they're encouraged to lie about unimaginable things. There's more than one case where a child is encouraged to lie about being sexually molested by a stepfather or a boyfriend. Half of all marriages end in divorce. As a result, so many times when a child comes home after school, he or she is apt to open the door to an empty house. An average working mother has only about 50 minutes a day to spend with her children. A working father, just 17 minutes. If we think about the pressures that non-divorced parents deal with every day, even the best, most loving, most committed parent could use some help with their children. And there seems to be a hostility against children in our society. As a circuit judge, though, who has a deep regard and a concern for my community, I'm sincere in saying that we each have a duty to adopt an attitude of genuine concern and regard for the welfare of others. We each have the obligation and the duty to our children and to our families to exhibit the proper example. We must understand that the gang problem, the murders, the assaults, the filled prisons, and the jails do not start when a child reaches puberty. It starts when the infants and the toddlers, it starts with the infants and the toddlers, with the 3- and 4- and 5-year-old children who are angry and aggressive, who lack the ability to trust others, who lack the ability to form social bonds, who lack the ability to see others as human beings like themselves, who lack the ability to understand that they are really a worthy person, a good person. Children have to be taught to show compassion, trust, and to care. Age 15 is probably 10 years too late to learn those things. Preschool therapy might be just barely in time. From where I sit as a circuit judge, I'm not sure that I know who is looking after our kids. Some people are trying. There are some things available to us in this community that can help. One is the Parent Share Mentoring Program sponsored by the Downriver Community Services in Algonac. Another is the Big Brother, Big Sister program sponsored by the Blue Water Mental Health Clinic. Another is the Lunch Buddy program that I already spoke about. That guy'd be thrown out of my courtroom in a hurry, I'll tell you that. Dr. Seuss wrote a terrific book. He wrote many terrific books, which was called Oh, the Places You'll Go. It's a great send-off for children starting out in the maze of life, be they nursery school grads or medical school achievers. And in that book he writes, and will you succeed? Yes, you will indeed. 98.75% guaranteed. But there are many, many children out there who I can guarantee you 98.75% are not going to succeed. I see them every day. I put them in jail and I put them in prison every day. And those children are our responsibility. Anyhow, back to Dr. Seuss, he says, congratulations, today is your day. You're off to great places, you're off and away. So I say to you, graduates, Port Huron Northern High School 1997 Huskies, this really is your day. You're off to great places, but please do not forget the children as you go on your way. Thank you very much. I appreciate this opportunity. Thank you.
Mr. Charlie May, Senior Class President, would now like to make a presentation. Charlie?
I haven't had the opportunity. Hi, Charlie.
On behalf of the class of 1997, it is my honor to present this gift to Judge James Jare in appreciation for making this the most memorable occasion.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. I'm going to hang it in my courtroom.
Now we're going to the fun part of this ceremony. We're going to introduce you to the individual members of the class of 1997. Assisting me tonight will be the class sponsors, Mrs. Voitas, and also Mrs. Story, board members, Mr. Beckett and Mr. Sheeran.